When you need the highest quality cap screws, bolts, and nuts, specify Nucor Fastener. You can do this with confidence. Nucor is committed to take care of its customers by continually striving to be the safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, and most profitable steel and steel products producer in the world. Nucor Fastener is a division of Nucor Corporation, the largest domestic steel producer. In addition, Nucor also has international business ventures around the world. With over 20,000 teammates, Nucor is an industry leader with strong financial performance. Nucor has been recognized by Fortune Magazine, Industry Week, Harvard Business Review, Charlotte Business Journal, Wall Street Journal, and Business Week. Our facility was founded in 1986. Nucor Fastener has over 225 teammates who are skilled American workers, making high-quality fasteners from 100% domestic steel, primarily from Nucor bar mills. The construction industry, automotive, heavy truck, and farm equipment industries are just a few of the markets we serve. The culture at Nucor Fastener promotes attributes such as integrity, teamwork, and innovation. These Nucor values help ensure that we meet or exceed our customers' expectations, no matter how large the project. It's all part of our commitment to commercial excellence, an enjoyable experience every time. Your relationship with Nucor Fastener begins with a single bolt. We support our products with world-class customer service.
Nucor Sales, this is Cheryl. How may I help you?
Whether our trained personnel are providing technical assistance, helping with application issues, or simply discussing current specifications and recommended practices, we will assist in finding solutions. At Nucor Fastener, our teammates are our most important asset. We maintain a safe work environment for our teammates and an environmentally conscientious setting for our community. Nucor Fastener is an ISO 14000 certified plant that makes standard product or build-to-print fasteners that are compliant to ISO 9001 and TS 16949. Nucor Fastener has the skill, knowledge, manufacturing capability, and financial strength to fulfill your fastener needs. Nucor Fastener's state-of-the-art manufacturing facility located in St. Joe, Indiana, is over 500,000 square feet and capable of producing over 70,000 tons of fasteners annually. Our fastener story typically begins with coils and bars of steel arriving from our Nucor Steel, Nebraska division by rail. Nucor Fastener receives coils weighing about 5,000 pounds each. As in each production operation, our team performs in-process quality checks for each phase of production. These coils are in the as-rolled condition and will need preparation before further processing. They are tagged to maintain identification and lot integrity and moved into inventory using overhead cranes. The bar bundles are stored in the same manner. After receiving the coils, they are prepared for forming. This involves a process called pickling. Pickling is placing the coils in an acid bath to remove mill scale and to prevent the annealing process from removing carbon from the steel. The annealing process softens the steel to allow it to flow properly during forming by heating the steel to about 1370 degrees Fahrenheit for up to 30 hours. Nucor's hydrogen bell annealers are the largest in North and South America. They're over 25 feet tall and can anneal over 30 tons per load in a hydrogen atmosphere. At this point, the steel coils are removed from the annealing furnace base, and the surface of the coils are pickled again and then coated so that lubricant will stick to the surface during the forming operations. Once the coil preparation process is complete, the typical cap, screw, and bolt is formed. Nucor has over 30 forming machines of different sizes, with some machines capable of running well over 250 parts per minute. Let's take a closer look at the bolt forming process and each of its individual sequences. To begin the forming process, the wire is straightened. It is cut into a blank that goes through a heading operation. This heading operation forms the head and body in 4 stations in rapid succession. The first station is a partial upset. This partial upset allows for progressive movement of steel to prevent cracking when forming the head. Once some of the metal has moved, a full upset can now form the head, along with the appropriate head mark. The lowercase letter N is Nucor's head mark, and your assurance that this is a high-quality bolt or cap screw, and it is made in the USA. Accept no imitations. The body section, as well as the reduced section that is to be threaded, is properly sized in the next station. All that is now left to do to form the semi-finished bolt is to shape the head to final specifications. A trim die will cut off excess material to form the familiar hexagonal head. Once the part leaves the heading section, it is moved to the pointer to chamfer the end in order to make it easier for a bolt to fit into a nut. The pointer is like a massively heavy-duty pencil sharpener. Once the end is chamfered, the bolt is now ready for its next step, roll threading. The part is then transferred to the roll threader section of the bolt maker. The rolling action is created by injecting the end of the bolt in between the dies. One die is stationary, while the other is reciprocating. Each stroke of the roller threader will finish forming one bolt. Nut forming is a parallel process to bolt forming. Nut forming can be done hot or without preheating. Hot forming is done at elevated temperatures by using an induction coil to heat the steel bars to about 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. This is in contrast to the cold nut forming operation that is done with coils. During the hot forming process, a cutoff blank is upset to a hexagonal shape in the first two stations and then pierced in the subsequent station. The hot nut blanks are then cooled. After reaching an appropriate temperature, the nuts are threaded in a tapping operation. The nut tappers continuously thread the blanks, which will then fall into a bin. Just as with the bolts, the bin of fully formed nuts will then continue on to heat treatment if the mechanical properties need to be modified. Heat treating is where the mechanical properties are modified to meet the required strength level and any other mechanical property specifications. Vibratory feeders and conveyors are used to advance parts in the heat treat process and control the load rate. The pre-wash is used to remove oil from the forming operation. Once this oil is removed, it is fed into a hardening furnace which runs at 1650 degrees Fahrenheit. At the end of the hardening furnace, the heated bolt will fall off the furnace conveyor belt and into a quench tank filled with oil. The bolt is now at its maximum hardness condition and very brittle. A conveyor at the bottom of the quench tank then moves the bolts out of the oil and into a post-wash operation. Once the quench oil is washed off, the fully hardened bolts enter a temper furnace. The temper operation removes some of the brittleness and is used to achieve the desired final mechanical properties. This furnace runs at a much lower temperature, typically 800 degrees Fahrenheit to 1150 degrees Fahrenheit. After tempering, the parts fall into a soluble oil tank. This soluble oil quench gives the parts a pleasant-looking blackened finish, along with some rust protection. From the soluble quench oil tank, a conveyor loads the parts into bins for further processing. All operations are engineered to prevent damage to the fastener and its threads. At this point, if the customer requires, Nucor Fastener can provide various finishes and coatings at one of our approved suppliers. We can provide mechanical galvanizing, hot dip galvanizing, an oiled phosphate coating, electroplating, as well as special coatings and patches that minimize parts from vibrating loose. Prior to packing, all product receives final inspection to ensure that all requirements have been satisfied. Required mechanical properties and dimensions are checked in our internal metallurgical laboratory, which is accredited to the American Association for Laboratory Accreditation, or A2LA. We are also capable of providing magnetic particle testing, plating thickness testing, rotational capacity testing, and hydrogen embrittlement testing. After final inspection is verified that all specifications have been met, the parts are ready to be packaged. Nucor Fastener can package in various ways. However, they're typically packaged into boxes and cans. Our bolts are loaded by bin in our pack lines, which uses vibratory feeders for our boxes and cans. For box packaging, the box maker assembles a box, which catches a prescribed weight of bolts. From here, the box is sealed, labeled, and placed on a pallet for storage into inventory. Product is packaged into cans, crimped, and labeled. As a leader in the production and sales of hex cap screws, structural bolts, and nuts, Nucor prides itself on keeping a large inventory to take care of our customers. Boxes are moved into inventory storage by forklift. When an order is being filled, parts are picked and placed on a pallet. Nucor has state-of-the-art inventory storage and retrieval systems that can place inventory into stock and can retrieve the inventory as needed by customer request. Cans are stored on pallets as well. However, we use special forklifts. Our fasteners are shipped to our customers for a variety of applications. Whether it's standard product or build-to-print, the fasteners produced at our St. Joe, Indiana facility are not just intended to meet specifications and industry standards, but to meet or exceed the customer's expectations. We are proud of our American-made products and want you to feel confident and share our pride every time you see the Nucor N headmark. Remember, when it comes to your fastener needs, specify Nucor.